45 minutes left in the trading session. Welcome back to the close. Let's have a look at where things stand at this point as we head into the last hour of the trading day. Guys, if we could, there we go. Thank you so much. We are positive still, but only just. The market coming off here in the last 5 minutes or so. 0.16 for the S&P. The Dow leading 0.4. You can see the NASDAQ already red. Everything else nicely higher outside of oil. Back to the downside today. CDC just out with some new guidance on when cruise lines can start operating once again. So we had CCL with a bit of a spike there. We're checking on that Moderna move as well, guys.
Welcome back, and it's funny you mentioned that CCL story. So look, it popped up to like 27.30 retrace. This is from 26.66 that it was just sort of hanging out in. On the way back in, I said, okay, I'll take long in front of the low of the day. It then promptly broke the low of the day. So in and out, this is going to be a fast 45 minutes like it always is, Sean. I only have one position to talk about now. Going to be Peloton. Obviously the news with the recall brought this stock to the downside. We talked about this on the show. Flip for me. We talked about this on the show in the morning, right around that 88. I sort of said I much prefer a defensive $80 in terms of any support level if it breaks that low of the day. There was a scalp trade off of 88. It got you a couple of bucks. You had to get in and out with the tight stop. And then it tested down to 81.40. That's currently the long I got in front of it. And then Baird all of a sudden came out saying it's a value buy. So buy the dip. They said I was sort of sitting in here. Didn't really do much for the trade. I have been able to take a buck on this a couple of times here. Well, a 60-cent move, then a $1 move. It has not broken 84. We break 84, I want VWAP and no more than that. Peloton getting woodshedded today, down 15%. It's trying to find a bit of a bottom. Lots moving, Sean.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for rejoining us. We're back, guys. And yeah, welcome to the fastest 45 minutes on YouTube. We still have Ford. I mean, we didn't trade anything in the afternoon, just sitting here. I did have an order that was left here at 60 right here. So we got out of that Ford. And look at that big, bottom pickup there. It's funny because the NASDAQ right now continues its move to the downside here, down 0.25. Basically at the lows of the day right now, and Ford just still hanging around upside. So we like Ford, we like GM, and we're going to try to find some more value plays for you here today. Oh, the other one too, we still have Rocket, but it's traveled a bit. We'd like to see it get back down here. I do like a 23 break. We'll test to see. It was the high, it stopped. We'll see if it can get above 23.10 as well. I like double these with Rocket earnings on tap. Let's see what happens. We saw it happen last time. What'd that be?
All right, I mentioned Moderna there at the start, guys. Pfizer as well, and also it looks like Novavax and Vaxart all coming to the downside. You can see here's Pfizer. Heavy volume on the sell side, just went from 40.5 to 39.5. Apparently, President Biden saying he will back the World Trade Organization's vaccine waiver. So some of these vaccine stocks getting sold pretty hard here.
There you go. Got to have that actionable news. Now, if you rewind to yesterday and we're watching that, I know you guys are looking at that. A lot of people looking at that PRPO. Of course, they actually have that antibody test available on Amazon. That's one of the reasons for their spike. There was this retracement, and we talked about this, $5. It gave you a good trade at lunchtime, all the way into 6, good 20% move. And then we tried the same thing, able to get like 30, 40 pennies off of it in the closing show. I came in and I left you guys saying if it opens and is failing off that $5, I would be shorting it below that price, and that 5 was the key. So I shorted it all pre-market. I think the bias is thinking it would get back to 5, got me out a little bit too early. Goes all the way down to 4. I don't take a long until we break 5 even. It was a great trade right into 570s. The pullback, however, it's a bit of a love-hate relationship here because the pullback I started too early. I played it off of 515 first and then right in front of $5. Was able to get a quick scalp out to get flats, and then I flatted the 5s as well. So it dipped down to 485, and you're seeing it right back at that 520. I need it outside of this 30 penny range. I mean, if it comes to VWAP, fine. I'll take a 485, 490 long on PRPO, maybe give it to 470s, but I'm not going to touch this at like 505, 510. I need to dip down a little bit further. I'm not going to, I got it swung in this range before and missed. The breakout off 5 was clearly the better trade.
Yeah. Okay, just looking, I mean, we're talking about Pfizer, BioNTech, everything. We just got into OCGN here. We'll see if they can have the same fate, hopefully on a reversal. Back to the upside right now, 1144. We just got long, well, Yeah, 11:40, 11:45-ish. Right there on this break, this is a 1-minute chart. So we're going to watch OCGN here. I just thought it could, forget about these wicks. They didn't exist. So 11:45 upside there. We're actually going to get out if this one doesn't work. We scalped OCGN like crazy earlier. That was only one trade right as we were leaving the show. But now you can see the volume picking up here. Let's see what this means for OCGN here. Down 9%. We just took it right there on this little break. So we'll see. I mean, I got to hold it back probably. Even to where we started when this happened, 11:20, that's good. Okay, let's wait it back to 11:20 and change just a little bit outside of that. But here we go. Nice little win already. 4 or 5 cents in the money. We'll see if we can get back. Target, like right around here, basically, 11.9. Let's take one piece off 70 if we can get it. Can we get 50 cents, 30, 40 cents right now? We'll see. 11.70 target, average in until 11.20 here, guys.
And this is actually perfect timing. Sterling Silver out here saying BGFV, and I bungle that every single time I've tried to say it today. Made a big reversal off 26.50. You're going to see it bounce off 24. This has like a 15% short interest, and the daily chart is going to do you a bit of a story here as it's been squeezing all morning. So a great little clean move, catching it off the top. It has bounced off 24 at VWAP, so you got to factor that one in. That's going to be an interesting price. Going to take that one. And I got to go over to NMRD, another mover from the morning. We'll get back to that with Brendan when we go back from Brendan.
Yeah, the other crazy mover from this morning as well, this RHE. A couple people just mentioning this one. Yeah, halted, downside, broke through 20. Finally, it was sitting there all throughout the midday, supporting 20, but finally broke, guys. So still up big time for this, but halted right now for RHE.
I know everyone's talking Dogecoin right now, but I'm pretty happy with the move here in Cardano. I haven't got out of anything yet on this recent move. We were buying low $1 a couple days ago on that crash up to 144. So just watch out. And again, I wish we could trade crypto on the show here. We don't have it on our platform, but this 144 break could be pretty epic. So get ready for ADA, some Cardano longs there, hopefully coming through. We'll see. Okay, so Rocket has gone up. I didn't get long yet. Rocket long. Oh, it's waiting. There it goes. Now it's going to punch in right now. There it goes. Okay, so now we're long Rocket. I was like, what the hell? I waited for O2s for some reason there. So we wanted to make sure we got the break there. So we do take that Rocket long. Average price now 95. We still did have some from here. We're going to take Rocket long and see what happens. We've seen it stop at 24.25 before today. So this is just going to be one of those quick scalps. Neil and I flat at the end of the day, as you guys know. So we're not taking swing trades, anything like that. We're just trying to make some magic happen here in the last couple minutes. So let's wait to see if we can get to 23, 25 or so. But guys, if this fails, we're going to get out right here. I'm not going to let this test retest the lows. So 22.75 break, we're gone. Look at the market here. Downside, Brendo.
Yeah, Moderna as well. It looks like leading. Just had another volume spike here on Moderna. It's trying to hold below this 163, but what a move. Was 178 and change. We're down to 158 on Moderna. Side note, they just said in this country, guys, we're going to get, or in this city, I should say, we're going to get Moderna vaccines in pharmacies by the end of this month.
I'll believe it when I see. Well, no, I probably shouldn't say that. I'm looking at Pfizer here just for the retracement, potentially back into 40 even. You look at the bottom here, and it's like just over $40 all pre-market. There was one pop to that price. I'll see if I can catch a quick little short. I was trying to get to NMRD there, and not quite in the nick of time. It bounced off VWAP and is now halted upside. So this is a volatility halt shy of the high of the day, which is 1080. Now I had a short off 10, which there's no point getting into at this particular time because we'll be open back up here in about 3 or 4 minutes. This stock has been a lot higher than this, but the 10 reversal was made a heck of a lot more sense when you look historically back in February. If this breaks the high on this reopen, it would have to do some heck of a quick rejection of that price level. And then the short for me would be off of this 1046 where it halted, so call it maybe the 1030 range, and then you could give it back to that 1080 high, and that would work down into VWAP. But that's very, very specific in particular. I'm looking to get into that Pfizer, hopefully. I missed it the first time, trying to catch that little retracement into 40 even. I'll try a second time here. I'm in the 80s. It's right here at 39.60.
Okay, 164. 50 or so. Oh, come on, Moderna, let's go. I got to load up that chart there. The bouncing spot, it's basically 164 right here. Oops, I don't know, what is this, a 1 minute chart? Look different, 164. Why does this look different? Okay. Oh, that's a 3-minute chart. That's why. Yeah, it was looking at 164 right here break on Moderna. I mean, it's been down pretty low today, obviously down to 158. We did see that. I have no idea what that even means, the waiver. I guess it's just like you're going to have to sign that you're basically signing your life away if you take a vaccine, I guess. I'm not sure what that waiver is all about, but that has seemed to have hit this. Yeah, I mean, Moderna is going to alter your DNA, right? So, yeah, you want it, you got it, here it comes. And now it's coming to the downside. I didn't think there was too much value in any of these stocks. We've talked about this over and over again. I even thumbs down Pfizer investments, things like that right now at these levels. I don't think there's much money to be made in vaccines right now, especially when you do have that downside risk, which you're seeing right now in some of these names. So I don't love it. Actually, I'm going to cancel. I'm talking myself out of this. I actually don't even want to take that mRNA anymore on the long side. We'll let it go to the downside here. See how far this wants to go. It may even break this 158. I think that's worth it. What is this level? 158.25. Yeah, let's try that. Let's go short if it breaks through 158 and a quarter. This may be a sort of like a watershed moment here for Moderna. It's just been such a nice run. It has a lot of room back down. So I like that break on the downside, 158, whatever this bottom is here, 158.25. If I can find anything better, I will. I'll find it for you, but I don't, I mean, there is, what is that other high level, 158.50? It doesn't matter. We got to get down here, 158.50 short. If that comes through on Moderna, that's going to be a play for me.
Got 1 minute until we get to that reopen on NMRD. Now, I want to get to Peloton here just for a quick second because, Danny, we do see you. Look, given... everything we do is going to be obviously flat at the end of the day, and we talk about that as day trade. So when I say defend that $80 range, it's because I expect a little bit of a bounce. Now, you're going to come into earnings with news like this. I would certainly not. I bought some Uber a week before the earnings. I don't know that I would love hanging on to Peloton in front of earnings, to be perfectly honest. I think it's good for a solid bounce trade. Maybe you can catch a little bit more of a bounce tomorrow. I mean, it would be asking a lot for it to get back to like the 90s, but maybe you could get to 85. When we said in the morning, if it broke that 80, that there's not a heck of a lot till you get this cluster here, and we're talking 65 to 75. So there's still some downside risk in Peloton. I don't know where you'd catch a falling sword. For the day trade, 80 made a ton of sense. That's why I'm long 82s in front of the current low of the day, which is 81.40. Brendan?
Okay, so just further explanation on that waiver real quick, guys. There's been growing pressure, mounting pressure on world powers, I guess, and governments to lift intellectual property rights on these vaccines to make them more widely available to countries, specifically India in this case they're talking about, but as far as creating them. So if they lift these intellectual property rights, anyone would be able to make these vaccines in any amount, which would increase production. So they're backing that, which obviously is bad news for the companies that own these patents. Guys.
Correct. Yeah,
100%. And remember, Pfizer's making a profit on this, and Moderna's making a profit. That's going to be the difference between them and some of the other vaccine makers. Hands off the keyboard. Well, not really hands off the keyboard because we're still trading, but NMRD. Yeah, there we go. NMRD making a big move up there. Just tested 1130. So I did have an idea for a bit of a short trade if it had actually bothered to fail through the high of the day. That has not happened. So it's still long. It's still going long. It's still going upside and still pretty strong. Not as strong as I would have thought is this PRPO, guys. I actually did think, now of course it went without me, and after I got jiggled out of the trade and looked to re-enter at 490, I said, I've probably missed the boat, and it's going to be me trying to short this off of the high of the day at 570. Slowing down here. It got to like 545, and now it's starting to slow down. I'm going to maintain this bid here, maybe bump it up just a little bit to see if I can't pick something up at $5 or just in front of it, with the idea that I am going to still take some below 5 and look at that 485 as a bit of an out. So turning around as PRPO, I'd probably still short this one if it made a run at the high of the day. I'm mad at myself that when I got out of the long, I didn't quickly jump into a short. It was a ridiculous retracement, so somebody was dumping at 575, and maybe someone will do that again.
Yeah, someone always knows more than everybody else here, so that's the problem. We are getting close to that Moderna level, of course. There it is, so we just got cracked long. I took the 164 long. Enough is enough. We'll see where this goes. Now that we know a little bit more about what this program is, maybe there's going to be something a little bit nicer to say about them, so let's wait to see here. Again, just because you give up the intellectual property, I don't believe that that's really the end of the world. I mean, you still have to be able to produce these things, and we're going to go with that story. So let's wait to see here if we can get a little bit of love backside now for MNRA. We are long right here. It's already tipped off at 164.70, so we'll wait to see. I mean, it was cruising at 177. I mean, if we can get this back to 170, maybe we'll look at, I mean, I like to get out a little bit before that, like 168 and change. We'll see. But on the downside, let's get out sort of where we started this mess from, like right here, like 160.50, breaking back down through 160.50. We'll get out. Not going to hold this all the way to the bottom, because if it breaks, we may miss, and then we'll be really in a lot of trouble. So Moderna right here. Let's see if we get a pullback to 168. Well worth the risk here. We'll go $4 upside, $4 downside. Let's see who's going to be right here. But we're kind of caught in the middle, which is fine. We didn't want to take the risk on the low side. We will sit in the middle here. We take this little bottom, and we'll see if it can go upside. So 168 target, 160.50 on the outside if we get hit downside Moderna.
It's happened again, and it's not Moderna in both directions, but I got that Pfizer in front of that 40 range. This is more post-news sort of technical for me in that it already failed once to retrace at 40. So if I can get a decent price, which I just got 85 halves into the short side, you'll see it sort of round down there for whatever reason. I guess because the order that I got into the 85s and 86s. But if it breaks at 40, I'll be out of it. I don't want it to retrace. I mean, it'd be nice if it retraced all the way and you would get a bigger winner, but I'm looking more for that initial bounce that was off 39.33 right here, and I will take it all out in this bit of a range. So you call it like 15 and then 30 and then 45 cents or so within that 50 penny range. On the other hand, Peloton is right back down towards, this would be nice if it had actually printed 89s, but right back down towards this 82 level. The entire time I've had this long, I've been looking for VWAP. I took 2/3 out for a scalp trade. If it breaks the low of the day, that 81.40, I am gonzo on that one. NMRD, just to come back to the other mover, still breaking strongly to the upside. No slowing down in sight. I really don't have a short idea on it yet. PRPO starting to come in. Might be able to get that long trade, but Pfizer and Peloton, the two that I'm in. And I am having a look at that DTW, DPW, but it's really not moving too much.
Yeah, not DTTW, our sponsor,
I almost
Trade the
said that,
World.
yeah.
Okay, so we did absorb a little bit of that play there on Moderna. We'll wait to see it. It hasn't moved yet, so I'm eagerly waiting to see what Moderna wants to do here. I'm still excited for it, so we'll see if we get some upside movement here on mRNA. You already know where I'm targeted, so we'll see if it comes through or not. I like the trade, so we'll see. 168. And again, now that we know a little bit more about it, thank you to Brendan for that news. We'll wait to see where we go from here. 168, hopefully, and then hopefully we can get all the way back up. So we'll see. I mean, Joe Biden said a lot of things before, as you guys know, so we'll wait to see what he means by this time. And there goes, 164, 165. So a nice little dollar in the money now. We'll see. I mean, it needs to go more. Not super excited about this yet, guys. 160.50 is the dropping spot. So a lot of work to be done here on mRNA. Brendan?
Just further comments on this, guys. They're now saying the World Trade Organization, so the WTO now saying anything along those lines will take time, quote unquote time is what they're saying. So may not be obviously an overnight type of thing, but something they have to work towards on that, guys.
That's about right. That makes some sense. Another name on the radar here all morning long has been Skills. It's down 9% on the session. I kind of wish I was still in the short trade here, but I did try defending it at 15.75 down here. It had made a couple of tests at like 16.70. That's why 3 times short. And given how far it had come, I just thought there was at least a little bit of a chance that it could bounce back. It since broke the low, and worth noting, that morning low down in here, 15.75, was a great trade. Right off the open, it just flushed into 15.75. It sort of held that price area and is creeping back towards it. I'd favor, we only have about 25 minutes to go, guys, but I'd favor if it gets back into that 15.75 to 80 range, looking at the short side of the trade. For now, I have to wait patiently. I'm away from the long after trying it one time and it failing. As far as Pfizer goes, Pfizer's not nearly as volatile as Moderna. So it's a scalp trade, right? Like in Pfizer, usually, and obviously it moved here $1.50, but usually you're pretty happy when you take like 15, 25, 30 cents, something like that. I just got some out here at 71, so that's going to be that 15 pennies. If it goes 30 and then 45, fantastic. I'm not really going to move my stop. I'll keep it at 40 even. Again, if it can hold that retracement level, we'll have a nice quick in and out trade. Peloton still gravitating towards that low of the day. Keep in mind, if it gets to like 3, If it gets to like 350 when these imbalances come out, I don't know that I want to hang on to Peloton going into that. So if it hasn't broken the low of the day, I'm likely to get out either right at that exit of 350, or if it's right on the lows, maybe I'll just cover it without even looking at those imbalances, because clearly the selling doesn't seem like it's done. There's a support level, at least there has been support at the low of the day. But if that goes, you don't know where the bottom could be. I mean, I'd have thought there'd be some short covering, but some people might not want to hold this one overnight either, I guess.
No, you don't hold Peloton into earnings. That'd be crazy unless you guys really. I mean, if you pick it up now, I don't think the downside's that huge, to be honest with you, unless they really do guide horribly. I mean, they may now that they don't have the treadmill on board. So yeah, maybe that's true. Okay, but that's why it's tanking down 14, 15% there. Rocket did go against us. Our out's going to be 70, and it didn't hit, so it came close. Just giving you that update. It doesn't look like it wants to go, but this is the one name that we have that in forward right now. We're watching everything else as we go. Our friendly neighborhood Neo looking to make some moves again. We hadn't touched this thing since the morning, which it was pretty good, man. It's hard to tell this, how this looks. You guys know this was that top break that we had there for a while. That was our last trade, basically washed out. We did get, it's hard to see if we were up or down on this stock, but right now it did retest these bottom levels of 37.45. So, you know, again, should have had an order there, didn't. But right now, 37.45 here on NIO. So that's, you know, something to watch out for. If the market retraces, or not retraces, if it does retrace back down, that's a great fill. But for right now, I like the long, and we're just going to have to wait for it, though. I'm putting some bids down here. 37, oh, we might have missed it, man. 37.60. The NASDAQ made that move. I should have gone right over to NEO, as we know that it can bounce back. And that's a perfect kind of a setup for us here into the close, right? Oh. We want something that can move and move relatively fast, like our friend AMD maybe. I mean, damn it, AMD got going today and then it's just hit back downside. So yeah, a lot of these plays, maybe this gets faded to the short side here. AMD 77.81. Let's watch the NASDAQ, but this could be a short into the close.
Yeah, and just noting here, I saw a couple of things. I'm going to get to Vaxart in a second, but you guys mentioning GameStop, I don't know that. I don't know that I would consider that a flush. I did see it break through 160, go $1.50 to the downside, and it was on volume. But all things considered, I don't know how big a move I consider that. I look over at Vaxart down 15%, and you guys mentioned this one, and it's consolidating off of this low. Now it did fail all kinds of ways here off of $8 when there was consolidation earlier in the day. So I suppose that was a missed opportunity for a short trade. But I mean, give me a break. If you look at this like 735, and we can have a shot at like, you know, getting in here in like the low 40s or so, I'll take a shot at this in terms of Vaxart. A lot of times I'll be short a stock like Vaxart, but when the risk reward looks like this, I don't mind taking it. The consolidation I like, the fact the market's trying to bounce a little bit, I also like. You go back in and sort of look at where Vaxart has come down from. There are all kinds of clusters in this 7 to 8 range. So there's usually been some buy support down here, looking for that to happen going into that little close. Every now and then you do see these sort of spike up, whether at 4 o'clock or into that close. It's been a good one. Pfizer basically flat, Peloton still flat, looking for NMRD to slow down, and now we got Vaxart to the long side off the low of the day. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, so I'm changing my target basically here for Moderna. I mean, it's not doing anything. Like, it's just doing nothing. So, you know, right now I still have that 160.50 as a bottom. I feel like, you know, if I change my stops here, I just don't want to get that wick to the downside. So we're still going to hold on to that. But I'm looking at this move, like we've topped out a bunch of times at 165. Sure, that would be $1 in the money. I don't think that's good enough for this risk, but we are going to try to get like 166.50, something like that. If it rips upside, we'll see about here it comes. If we could get a 166, that'd be fantastic. But it looking like it doesn't want to do anything here, Moderna. So stuck. I thought maybe that it might bounce back up. It's stuck here. We're fine with this trade. You know, it's going to be a $3 hit if we have to, but we'll watch it. Right now, Moderna waiting for 166, 167 if we get it. I consider that pretty lucky for that one. Rocket, hello, all the way back a little bit. Anyways, back from this bottom. We're about flat on this trade right now, 22.92. Again, coming into earnings. And the reason why we're holding this is, you know, this is last earnings, and it doesn't really matter, but we did call bottoms here like 18, 19. I mean, look at this great bottom. And I kind of just feel like we're doing the same kind of thing right here at 2250, where we've made these tops and everything and just haven't had a chance to break through. This is, I guess it's, can you guys still see it? Yeah, you can. Okay, good. This is 2370 is the 50 period. Those are like, you know, numbers that I like. I think we can break that on a good report. And then I wouldn't be surprised if we get to 25 or 26 tomorrow. So let's wait to see. But for now, I do like a break back above 23. I don't have any orders to get out. We're going to try high of the day on Rocket. So that's like the target right there. In about 10 minutes, we have the imbalances coming out for NYSE. This is an NYSE name, so we'll see if it's on there. If it is, we can trade it more according to the imbalance. So we're going to wait for that. But for right now, Rocket, my out is still 670, break of 70. If it hits, and we're gone.
That's right, and we'll go with, I don't know, power this one up because I like hitting that one. I don't play a lot of video, look, I don't play any video games, although we just threw out a Sega Master System, an old one, because it doesn't get used anymore. But I love the power up because that's a classic. Going downside is at Pfizer. This is a scalp trade. And this is a funny thing. I mean, like, you can barcode it in Moderna, and that can certainly happen. And that's why I kind of favor the scalp trade. If this does not break, and this is going to be, I'm going to show you guys this line in the sand here, that 39.40, where I have the bottom end of this. If either does not break that, there's a decent chance it could make another push to the upside. They're more than, of course, just a vaccine. So you could see some buying on value come in. I'm just playing off that 40 level. I've got 2 targets. It now cannot be a losing trade. So much so that I feel like it makes some sense to tighten the stop up. With 20 minutes left to go, why am I giving it all the way to 40? It did consolidate right here in the mid 80s. I can give it to that 90, so I save myself 10 cents if it goes against me. So I'm going to go ahead and change my stop order up. This is the kind of thing I might not do this if it was in the morning show, certainly. I'd let this sort of play out. Maybe give it back in, work into some more shares if it comes back into 80s. You can't really do that when we got to be flat at the end of the day. And I will do this one time. Someone asked what is BANU that I'm sitting in. Is this, well, where is it? Oh, I got to show you guys level 2. It's doing absolutely nothing. It's a cash buyout. It's literally sitting there at 262, 265 cash buyout, and it's not going to move too much. I'll just market make on it almost all day long. I usually go all over like a 62, make some spread. It's essentially free money if you know what you're doing. Although when they move against you, trust me when I tell you, what'll happen is you'll win 9 days out of 10, and the day that you lose, you'll lose like 2 or 3x because when it moves a heck of a lot faster because people take too many shares. I've been caught in that myself. I'm not caught in NMRD, thank goodness. I have no levels to play the shorts off of. 10 made sense to me. Shout you out, Sterling. I was going over that with why I was looking at that particular trade, but I don't know, the sky's the limit. I couldn't find myself into a long because I missed VWAP, and at this point, it is gonzo. I'd like to think that 10 could be worth playing in tomorrow's action, and maybe it gives you a dip to 10 or VWAP and we get a chance for a quick little buy. We're running out of time for that to happen, so I don't think I'm going to get any action in NMRD. And Vaxart, as much as it's at the low of the day, it is just barcoding off of the low. I suppose because I'm only risking 10 cents, that's not that bad of a thing, but we've seen that happen with Ocugen when I tried to play that off the low of the day a couple of sessions ago. If it doesn't go, you're just sitting there wasting your time in a stock that's not moving. Now, Vaxart has the potential, I think, so I'll hang out with it till about like 350, and if it doesn't go by then, I might have to start pairing it off.
Yeah, I'm trying to find some potential winners here too. And yeah, right now it does look like we can go back to Moderna. It looks like we're going to get out. I mean, it's very, very close to getting us out here for this hit. And you know, we take the risk. We're trying to trade something that's a little, you know, a little bit of a mover for you guys. 161.50. So that's my target, just to make sure that I have that. Yes. Oh no, sorry. What am I talking about? 160.50. So it's at 161.50 now. So another dollar down, and Moderna will flush us out. We'll wait to see if that does happen. Hey, it's still early. We could bounce back, but it doesn't look like it. Here it comes right now. 160.50. So you're going to see me get out of that one very, very soon. So that's the target on that price. Rocket is coming back down right now. So right now, like all these longs for me just not coming in. You see the NASDAQ coming to the downside. We should have probably shorted that AMD. And someone said it's like Groundhog Day when you come back every afternoon. And yeah, I kind of feel the same way. Looking at some of the same names here and trying to figure out what's good and what's not. AMD here into the close, 77.80. I still think, like, I mean, we're going to find out. Can the NASDAQ get back to positive? I mean, that's really the question. When you're looking at stocks near the end of the day, you either need to have an idea about what you want to trade or listen to this guy. What's up, Brandon?
Just saw this one pop up. HNST, the IPO from today, the Honest company, the Jessica Alba run. and created. Honest company just popping up here with some volume, guys, coming back towards this last little high here, 23 for HNST.
That moved a little bit off the open, I suppose. I mean, you would have got flushed out, I think, if you took the opening print. There's a decent chance, unless you really wanted to give it some room, you might have got stopped out, and then it goes to 24. Yeah, let's highlight immediately 2150, where there was buying on that first dip and then buying again here. You don't have any levels to work off of when it's a recent IPO, so you start thinking about everything on day one is going to matter, especially if it's an even dollar. So 23 and 2150. I don't know that I like getting into it. I'm not going to pay for shorts to jump in front of 23 on a move like that with 15 minutes to go. I don't know if it's worth it. It certainly will be tomorrow. It's Peloton that's got my attention here. Is another push to the low of the day. I mean, it was just a bit of buying that just came into it there. So I'll take a shot. It's going to be a better price. If I hadn't scalped anything out here, I might not be doing this, but I look at that 81.41 bottom. I already have my stop order locked and loaded to go here. So I'll jump into some more shares on the chance that there's any kind of a bounce off that low. I'm fully prepared to take this off, this trade off. If at 350, it just comes out as like for some kind of sell imbalance. If that doesn't trigger my stop, I'll just get out manually, actually.
Okay, yeah, Peloton, we'll see about that one. Into earnings, very, very dangerous. Freeport McMoran today, 41.50 all-time.
It's tomorrow after close, though, so it's not.
What, Peloton? Yeah. Well, we have to remember, we have to be flat, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so there it is. So there's Moderna. We'll put that with an evil laugh. As there it goes, it does break that level. So, hey, we put a little bit of risk on there, took it, and did not trade well with that one. So there goes Moderna. I thought it was well worth the shot there. It's funny because I was talking about how I didn't like it. I don't like the company really that much. And yeah, there it is. So I decided to go long. So I guess if you don't, essentially the trading gods know that you're not really in love with the position. Sometimes this is what they can do to you. So if you believe in that, then that's good. But we'll wait to see here what Moderna wants to do. I'm going to be done with that one for today. So there was a shot. I think that was worth it. You want to talk about another symbol here? Uber coming in today, 51. Like, is it coming in? Yeah, it's coming in a lot right now. Uber just to the downside. We've left it alone today. We actually triggered here. You guys see that? And it's funny because it's the other way. Look at Uber. Like, we started 56 right in the middle. Like, what's the high of the day? 56.10. Right there. So that hits right off the open. Actually, that hit in the pre-market, and that was just a level that we were looking at. Was it the pre-market? Yeah, 850. So off open, though, it doesn't even come close to that. That was a key level there. Nothing but downside. You're going to see this 50-70 come through. I'm going to wait for the imbalance on this one as well. Hopefully on Uber, it'll be imbalanced to the buy side, and then we can take it. So 51.75, I don't think we get back there. We could defend 51 here, maybe. That could not be a horrible spot, defending this 51, but let's wait to see what happens with Uber. Only 2 minutes left. I'll show you the imbalances, guys. So that's coming up.
Dropping on the New York in just 2.5 minutes. And Pfizer, I mean, it wasn't when we get those two legs out. Remember, I moved my stop here. If it breaks that 90, I'll only lose like 5 pennies plus slippage on the last third of the position. So that's one of the reasons I'll move the stop. I mean, the fact that it wants to bounce here, Pfizer looks like it's going to be possibly strong going into the close. I'll be interested to see what kind of an imbalance we see on some of those vaccine makers. So we're out. We're still going to be a winning trade, thankfully. That's one of the reasons you scalp some winners out. I'm not sure about Peloton being a winner. 25 pennies off that low of the day. If it cracks it, I'm going to be out of that last one as a loser. But the 2 times I went long, already wins. The 3rd time was not a charm. NMRD, I wish I had shorted it, but like I said, if you don't have a setup, it is what it is. You can't just jump in front of any kind of a level. It is starting to roll over here now. There was a high at like 1080 where there was a dip all the way into VWAP, and that's a good dip, about like 20% or so into $9. If it retakes that 1080, I'd look to maybe momentum short it to about 10, maybe like $9.75 to $10, but it's getting pretty thin to put that trade on time-wise at least. Brendan?
All right, 10 minutes to go here, guys. We have just a mess of earnings coming up again, either aftermarket tonight or before the open tomorrow. I noticed before we came back on here at 3:15 that Viacom was down. This is going to be ViaC's first report since the Archegos mess. They also filed for bankruptcy today, conveniently. But here we go, either aftermarket tonight or before the open tomorrow, guys, for earnings. You can take mine.
There
we go.
Oh, I didn't see Twilio. I own Twilio. Like, I've owned that from IPO. I didn't even see that before. Wow. Okay, Twilio. Did you add that there, Valeria? Or that was always there?
That
okay.
was there.
Okay, it was there. I missed it. There's Twilio. We're looking at Uber right now, Rocket Company. So for me, those are the big ones.
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
there's tons of big ones.
Yeah, going to be looking at Uber. Well, there's tons of big ones for sure. The other one I'd pay attention to is that Root. That's that online insurance company. They're basically a quick little story on them guys. They're just entirely by mobile. They're being beaten up. They're heavily short. I know some people are looking at the Wall Street Bets crowd and maybe talking about that as being heavily shorted and being beaten down. If you actually Citron made a very compelling case for them, and you referenced Lemonade, which I'm actually in and like, and it was hard to ignore. It's a bit of a downer though. If you actually had this from IPO price, you're getting absolutely crushed. But if you look at where it's sitting, the risk to reward is actually pretty enticing on that route. Like I said, it is heavily shorted. But they do have some wrinkles, especially when it comes to some of the recent numbers. And speculation is that they might not do too well with earnings. But any upbeat, and this one could be a bit of a runner. I like Lemonade, which is in some ways more expensive than Root. So it's hard to root against them. Wow. When I like the other insurance play, that was a bad pun.
There's a lot of rooting going on there. Okay, Roto-Rooter time. Ford, guys, right now. I'm just going to get out of this one, but a good runner. Why did we talk about Ford earlier, guys? We said this today. Look at this. Ford to 1165, the high of the day, 1164 there. And then we talked about it earlier. Go long down to 1125. Someone said, how did we know to pick this up here? I mean, we were long early in the pre-market, got out 58s. We got out, that was our high 58. This was the better out there, 55, 56. And then as it came down, all we were really doing is just looking, it's going to be hard to show you, but looking at some of these past levels, even from yesterday, right? We saw this. How far was it going to go? 35, 36. So we did put on a trade here. I talked about wanting to load up if we ever got down into the mid 30s. That doesn't happen. So we didn't have a monster trade on Ford, but really happy with the way this worked. And then we'll look at tomorrow at this 1165 and see where we're going with that. In balance time, I said I'd do it, got to do it. AT&T, 1.7 million shares to buy. We can see, just to show you guys, if that, okay, wow, $32. See, not moving the stock. A lot of these aren't going to move the stock, especially if they're all on on random names like I'm seeing right here. I don't see too much here. BP, nothing. Energy Transfers, ET, Pfizer with a buy. That's going to move its own way right now. GE. Anyways, nothing really significant. If I see millions of shares on here is when I'll more bring this to your attention. But right now, NEPA on the imbalances, nothing too exciting, I'd say.
Yeah, no, you're pretty much dead right about that. Now I'm going to have to trim some of this position in Peloton. Now, at an 81, 88 average price, I'll take some out at 82s. Now, the balance, I didn't even see an imbalance on Peloton, to be honest with you, whether or not it's significant, but there was no movement whatsoever. We're 7 minutes left to go here, guys. So I'm just going to start trimming those positions. I might have to get also out of that Vaxart. It's not even moving. It's holding the low of the day. But, I mean, if it can't go, you got to walk away from it at some point. And it's just the case here with that Vaxart trade. NMRD does not make that quick little breakdown that I was possibly looking for. It actually bounces off that level right back into the highs. So closing on strength is NMRD. It is what it is. So I'm going to have to pass on NMRD making some trades, to make a short trade at least. And I can't really endorse going long into the end of the day unless you're trading the aftermarket. Right? If you're trading the aftermarket and you take a long break, you got a chance at one of those 4 o'clock bumps and you can get out at 4:15 or something like that. We're not going to be doing that, so I cannot say I'm going long through the high of the day, despite how strong it looks at this current moment.
So I just got out of Ford there, 61s, no problem. A nice little 20-cent win there to end the day on Ford. So that's a good one. Other than that, I wish there was more I could really tell you about, but there isn't. I'm just waiting on this Rocket trade. Nothing happening. So I don't know what to do. We got up to VWAP there. That was flat. We talked about that. We're long at 92. It's not a monster position. I really was hoping that we'd get some action into the close, but unfortunately here on Rocket, it's not doing anything. So we're gonna have to wait on this one, and it doesn't look like we're gonna get any action. So if we could get back to 90, we'll pair off a little bit just for flat. My average price you can see at the bottom there, it says 93, it's 92.5. So if we could get that up, even 87, 88 is a 5-cent hit. I mean, that's well worth it. I'm wondering though today we know it's Uber time, right? So let's see what Lyft was doing, because I'm sort of thinking as a carry trade, Lyft was better than Uber at open today, but like now you're down this 6%. Like they don't like that news there about overturning, possibly overturning, I guess, the ruling on employee, non-employee. Like that's a big miss there. So I'm kind of changing my tone and tune on what to expect with Uber tonight. I just wonder if they'll say something about that, which will cause, like Lyft had a good open, man. We thought this was going to be higher. I don't remember what it was, but it was up. Like, what is this? Yesterday's close 56. Today it looked like we were going to open 59-ish. And then we basically do open around 57.50. And then ever since then, just crushed to the downside. So not excited at all about this Uber report coming later. I don't know if you're still in the Peloton. I have no idea what that's doing.
I'm still in. I actually just took off Vaxart. Well, I'll do this for Vaxart. 5 penny hit as it doesn't break the low of the day, but it's 355, guys. I'll hold on to Peloton because it's bouncing off the lows here and just sort of take it out. When it slows down, I mean, about 80 pennies in the money. Look, if it moves above, this is ridiculous. I should probably even be taking these 80 cents now that I think about it. 82.50, that's going to be good enough. With 5 minutes to go, like what am I thinking is going to happen here? Is Peloton really, on this news, going to make a jailbreak into VWAP at 355? Probably not. So let's just cash out of it here. It's kind of weird, and I have to examine the reason why I didn't have a single short in Peloton today. I looked for some bottom picking, which has worked, and I'm up on the stock, but clearly a little bit of money was left on the table by not even thinking about shorting it at any point during the day. The out here at 88 seems like the most obvious one, but I can't sort of sleep on this little pop that came back into 85, which was just my target on the long. So there were some missed opportunities on Peloton. It's good to have a plan if you're going counter trend. It's better to just be with the trend. Seems obvious.
Yeah, we love trend is your friend. Okay, so just to let you guys know, we got out like at 81 and 82 there. We took the hit there, 10 pennies on Rocket. So I don't know. Okay, so someone just said, what is there it is, MH. What's up, MH? What's my general prognostication for tomorrow? It's tough not to be a bear because, looking at today, what we've seen today on the NASDAQ, I mean, we started off, we were high, we tried to get going there, bounced around, and then it just fell through. We were talking about this 35.5 yesterday, this level right here. Didn't hold that at all, didn't hold it, tried it, didn't hold, came to the downside. Now you're like 100 points lower at 450, I guess, is that bottom right there. So I could just say that I've got over this in the morning show, and that it's been a nasty ride, to be honest with you guys, into earnings season. We saw that last earnings season, so I can't say I'm positive until we're through this. What's up, B?
A couple of minutes here, guys. Somebody, sorry I missed your name, but someone was asking about the short interest on this one, Peloton. Here we go. 7.28 is what I got. 7.28% short for Peloton, guys.
Yeah, I think that's going to be worth tracking the next couple of sessions, obviously, for obvious reasons. Just only a few minutes to go, so I will point out that NMRD still looking like it's going to press into the highs of the day. And just going to check back in on some of the other runners here. That RH has pulled back in sort of severely, I should say, from that 28 high. It didn't have any locates, but if we get locates tomorrow, I might have to have a thought about this below that $20 mark. If it opens below 20, and heck, if it opens gapping down below the 17 area, that could be an interesting one for tomorrow's close. And then one of the last ones I want to go to is that PRPO. It didn't really have the follow through that I was anticipating, never got that 560 short, but it's still above that $5 mark, which has been an interesting one. That's where we're long in yesterday's show in the afternoon. That was good. I was short in front of it in the morning. We took the reversal long. First time, great. Second time, absolutely garbage. I basically got out flat twice. I'll look to see if that can hold 5. If it can't, that's not a good sign. It's fantastic news for them, but you got to follow the price action, and the stock is up just a little bit in the last few sessions. It is more than a double still from those lows at 2. So if it came back into 350 or 375 to 350, that's not exactly the craziest notion in the world, and 5 is the clear key level.
Hero of the market. Okay, thanks, Santiago. Very, very nice. Thank you for all that. Cincinnati Video Guru. Thanks for having me call out. I'm sorry I went against you, Sean. Good, no problem. Short reload. Nice $4. Congratulations, Cincinnati Video Guru. Shooting from the line. Good one, Cincinnati Video Guru. Look, I want you guys to all win. I've made my money. Like I'm quite happy with what I've made today. It's about 2.5 times my daily goal. So I'm happy with that. And we'll just keep on going. So I like when other people win. It doesn't always have to be me. I want all of you guys to win. That's how we build the best community possible. Okay, Rocket, you asked me about my prognostication. I think Rocket beats. That's going to be a good one. I think PayPal beats as well, but could warn a little bit. We'll watch PayPal tomorrow for a swing. It's not even a swing, man. It's on earnings. PayPal, did it stay up today? It's pretty much stayed up. Like only down 0.97 is a pretty good one there. Miss V dropping stuff over there. That's fine. She's in her green. The green didn't work out perfectly today. We're still down, but I'm green on the day. So.
The ES is up 0.04%.
Perfect.
So the S&P 500 is barely up. Thank you very much, Valeria, for that one. Someone asked about ATNX. I can't give you any good news about that one, but it is time to drop that countdown because that fastest 45 minutes is almost over. Miss V is on the bell. Hold green for Miss V. ES, it's very, it just went flat. 5, 4, 3. They're going to close green. It's going to do it.
Green. It's green.
There it is. It's green at the close.
Yeah, the ES just held the green there.
That's all Valeria right there. Has nothing to do with these big futures traders. No, it's all Miss V. 0.05. The ES
job,
is up.
Miss V. Nice job. Yeah, you can see it there. 0.04 it was, or 0.05 on the close. Who cares what happens now? It's closed. So Miss V wins the day with that one. 0.04. Brendan, do you want to review the market?
Yeah, let's go. I actually have 0.02, but hey, it's positive, so all good. Let's have a look, guys, if we can. There we go. 0.02, 0.032 for the Dow. Yeah, NASDAQ, red. 0.7 here in Toronto, 1.5 to the upside for Brazil. Bitcoin had a nice day when all was said and done. Bitcoin obviously doesn't close, but 4%, guys, for Bitcoin. Ethereum nicely higher as well on the day.
And remember,
35, right?
Yeah, remember when I said what's going to happen when Cardano breaks 144? Yeah, how about 146.50, 147, a line straight up on that break. So again, congratulations if any of you had that idea as well. I just wish, and we're holding out. We're hoping that we can be able to trade crypto for you guys live because then I really feel like we would be exploding with profitability on that one because you can really scalp in and out of crypto. But thank you for such a great day today. It's crazy earnings time. If anything comes out in the next little while, we'll show it to you, but probably not. They come out like 4:05, 4:10. We're here tomorrow, so you can check us tomorrow at 8:30. Sign up for our watch list.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can wrap it up. I don't know. We want to show our friendly fire over there. What's up, guys? Thank you for a great show today. The production team. Oh, did you turn the light on there? I didn't know you normally had a light on. That's looks.
That's a bright light.
Now
That's
even
right
mine
on my
are
eye.
brighter.
Oh my God. These guys, they love the camera more than us for sure. But for all of our team here, guys, good luck if you're taking anything overnight here. Good luck on the earnings. We'll be watching Peloton. There's lots of fun names. For Neil, for Brendan, and for Miss V, we are tradertv.live, and we will catch you tomorrow. Good luck, everybody.
See you in the morning.
Bye, guys.